4.5 inches is what I need to fit this transmission in between the swing arm bushings. They've closed up over the years here. I only need about 1/8 of an inch, so this bolt with a few nuts attached here should give me the clearance I need once I push those back out into place. Some of the wiring harness installed just kind of as a rough addition here. It's going to have to be fine-tuned later on, but I labeled everything so I could see where it was supposed to go, and I've got a pretty good diagram that I'm using, and some of it will have to be soldered. And the back wheel kind of went on at the same time. I didn't show too much of this because I've done this in other videos, and other people have done this countless times. So the axle basically goes right in there. A little bit of anti-seize, and we put that together as well. In looking for my rear axle, I couldn't find the original one. I'm not sure what happened to it. We had boxed up a bunch of this stuff, and some of it got displaced or lost. But anyway, aftermarket. Installing these primaries is just a little bit tricky, but I did loosen up the motor and the pivot bolt on the swing arm, and tried to get everything centered as best I could, and made sure that the rotor and also the transmission shaft turned by hand so that we had the clearance. Here I'm going back with safety wire as opposed to the new style flat metal plate that they also used to lock these two bolts together. The original factory did it this way, and I thought it might be fun, and I got some safety wire pliers, so just put it all together, and this is actually my third attempt, but it was fun and it looks pretty good. It actually came out pretty taut and secure. It's kind of interesting how the starter shaft gear just drops into the housing and sits there. There's really nothing to hold it in place other than the starter shaft, which you're going to put in later from the other side of the motorcycle through the primary case. So yes, it will fall off inside the housing, but it's not a real big problem. You can always fix it later. Okay, here comes the fun part. That starter gear is still in the housing there, and you just kind of get that through the center and wobble it around, and it just drops right on. So it's installed and everything's fine. You could also install the solenoid spring before you put the shifter fork in. Of course, not the shifter fork for the transmission. This would be the one for the starter jack shaft. And here's the plug for that pivot pin that I just installed. I put a little Teflon paste on it. I forgot about this one. Wound up loosening the cylinders and raising them 1 inch so I could get these head bolts in, 2 on the right side. like these laminate flooring shims for so many things. They're stepped, you can stack them, you can make all kinds of things out of them. Spacers, washers, they're hard rubber, they're sandable, and it's just great to keep them on hand. They just work out really well. My video of the front end installation didn't come out, so here it is right now at the point we are with the 35mm Shoei forks installed from 1982. And of course those turn indicators don't go there, they're relocated. I may put them back on the handlebars later, but I just happen to have those brackets, so that's where they are right now. The tank is just sitting up there for fun. It's not connected. And we'll have to get the brake lines installed and bled. The rear brake, I believe at this point, is already operational. So working our way towards that day where we push the button and start this thing. that's pretty close to level. Note the 45 thousandths flat washer under the compensator nut. It was bottoming out on the shaft extension. The bolt has a shoulder to it, and I couldn't get proper torque. Now it's okay.
Nada. It's like, what happened? We were turning there for a second. Yeah, we were.
Hang on, John, hit the key again. We'll see if the lights come on.
No, not the dog.
Yeah, well, all right, they're on. Back is on.
I've known him since I was 17.
It's on.
And that's great.
The only thing you do is take the spark plug off.
Yeah, that was the only thing I did. These are all yeah, we're getting nothing now. Just turning over and now nothing.
Is the battery down?
That was it. It shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any.
How come it just turned over? Yeah, I mean,
I know.
I heard something too.
Yeah, no, it did. It turned over. Everything was fine. And,
This reminds me of the hang in '66.
that's right.
It reminds me of Christmas Station.
There you go, girl.
Yeah, the light. Well, turns the lights, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's okay.
It's crazy because, like, if anything that can go wrong.
No pressure, John. No pressure.
I know.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, I'll shoot the keys. Starter relay failed to work, and that's why we had to take another week to wonder when and try to do this again. So let's go ahead and see if the 1982 FXRS will start. S&S carburetor choker on. Got a bit of air ignition. And here we go.
It's dripping above you. You just slide the thing over.
Oh,
No,
no
this-
problem.
Yeah.
No, that's a good thing.
There we
That's a
go.
good thing. So
There's your oil leak.
Yeah, we've got oil pumping up to the front rocker box. That's exactly what we wanted to see. A little bit messy, but this thing started right up.
Yeah, there you go.
Impressive.
I'm amazed.
Like it
I mean, I'm
sounds
not
good.
amazed, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
There it is.
Good job, John.
We'll go ahead and do a little bit further tweaking, get that oil leak stopped, and then maybe we'll take it for a ride. Thanks, guys. Can I show you?